for the last 16 episodes, they have not been transferring over to the other podcast platform. And I know that when you actually try to listen to it on Spotify, it's not including the theme song. And I know a lot of you all are listening virtual, wireless. And I know that you're listening to the podcast, but you're not subscribing because it's not allowing you to do monetization. I get it. And that's perfectly okay. In this episode, I wanted to just kind of update my listeners. And it's also every time I do an episode since the last, you could say the last 16th episode, and this will be episode 17, I have to submit the episode. So that's another reason. And it's perfectly okay. I do the Keisha Phillips show this particular way to keep my listeners informed. And some things that you be a part of with the special segments, and I don't do those as an episode. That's kind of like just a live episode, and I don't actually be recording. The only episodes that I have recorded, and you can find them on my YouTube channel, Keisha Phillips Show. So I just wanted to kind of update you that you're not going to find anything live, videos, or anything like that on Spotify in reference to the Keisha Phillips Show. And everything that I say, I'm not putting it in the show either. So you may not find it, or even if you go back and listen to previous episodes, it may not be there. So I just want you to know that every show ends with a continuance. This means I'm not finishing the show. I'm leaving it open for the bigger things that's coming. And because one of the reasons is because of the fact that you can't monetize. Because there is no monetization attached. So when I do these episodes, I'm doing it for free. And so therefore I'm not going to put 100% everything into an episode that I would otherwise be putting into it if I was being paid the way I actually should be being paid. So I get started with the episode and I leave it with a continuance. And when I get paid, then I will really bloom and blossom to Keisha Phillips Show. But in the meantime, this is just an introduction. Every episode is an introduction. So this morning, welcome to season 8. We're going to go into season 8 and we're going to talk about talents, attributes. Season 8 is going to be filled with answers to your questions. We're going to talk about any and everything. We're going to have others to join the conversation. necessarily do a show plan, which means this show is going to be about this show is going to be about that, because I do that. And I find that I kind of, whatever topic I end up getting the most feedback or the most questions from, or then that be pretty much the way that I zoom in, and that be the focus and the center of the conversation. I did a topic on gardening. How many people have a garden? How many people have ever taken the time to plant a garden? I did my first garden over 95 days ago, and I tell you, it has been incredibly challenging. I think I have learned more in 95 days about gardening than I have ever imagined that I would learn. Between the research, between the feedback, between watching other customers, people's videos, going to the garden store, asking questions, from being on different websites. I even joined the Garden Association. So just kind of getting into the element of gardening. When I began, I wanted to know everything that I felt I needed to know in order for my first garden to be a success. I even was looking at the Master Garden. I learned so much because it's all these things I didn't even realize existed. And here I am doing my very first fruit and vegetable garden. I have learned about things that I didn't think I would even have to deal with, because this was a first garden, and I wasn't out there with it flowing and really digging deep as far as the holes and things like that. But you would be surprised that even with a small garden, I think a small garden is probably more work than a bigger garden, because it requires so much hands-on. It requires so much hands-on. You have to be attentive to it. You have to maintain. You actually have to get out there and cut the limbs, and everything that I have done, I think, has been a growing experience, and has also made me excited to do my next garden. I really want a big garden. You would almost think that I'm on a farm at the size of the garden that I am going to have eventually. I want to grow my own produce, my own vegetables, and my own herbs. And that's something that is just going to be a part of, my home. That'll be a part of my home. And that's another reason why I need about 80 plus acres land, because of all the different things that I want to be able to do, and the things that I want to be part of. The property that I own, my land, things that I want to do, and having my own fruit and vegetable garden is one of those things. So I'm going to talk about the downs of the garden that I experienced, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to highlight the good things. I planted my cucumbers, and when I first did the cucumbers, I planted using the cucumber plants, which means they had already went through the basic part. Okay, so when I planted the cucumbers, I planted 2 cucumbers. And then the cucumber plants, one looked like they kind of died, so it wasn't doing anything. So I pulled the plant, okay? And then when I pulled the plant, so now I'm like, okay, I have this big old spot right here. I ain't want to leave it empty because I'm not realizing at that time, because like I say, this is my very first garden, how much and how, cucumbers actually grow and how much room you actually need. And I didn't realize just how much one plant can do. So in that particular spot that I pulled up, I put squash. And I didn't plant just one seed. In the packs with the seeds, they had 8. So I put 8 seeds. I spread them out in that little space. And I planted 8 seeds. Okay? I've learned that you can plant one seed and one seed will do extremely well. Just that one seed, but I didn't know. So I planted 8 seeds. Okay, and I spread them out a little bit just like it said on the bag. So the cucumbers began to grow. The squash was growing. And the cucumbers started seeing little yellow stems. And it was growing very beautiful, both cucumbers and the squash. And one day I went out and all the little yellow leaves from the cucumbers was on the ground. So I'm like, what's going on with the cucumbers? The cucumbers is on the ground. So now I'm pulling up the cucumbers. Because I'm thinking that they wasn't going to harvest, so I pulled up the cucumbers. And when I pulled up the cucumbers, I decided to leave one little piece. So I'm going to leave this one little piece. And I'm going to see if it's going to do good. So I pulled up all 60, because I had already counted the little yellow. So I knew how many cucumbers was about to grow. The squash was growing up. We got to the yellow flowers and they were getting really big and pretty. So I pulled up the cucumbers and left them one little part. Then the squash started falling like it feelings and stuff was hurt because I pulled up the cucumbers. And then the squash started drooping and all of a sudden, and I'm like, what this mean? So now I'm researching, trying to figure out what's going on with the squash and the cucumbers. And then that's when I realized that you're not supposed to put the squash and the cucumbers side by side. Well, I didn't know that, okay? So then I realized that I was only supposed to plant one seed, but I planted 8 and the squash was growing extremely big. Now I'm like realizing that the squash and the cucumbers is in the same family. Okay? So I'm just like, okay, now what? Well, the now what is the cucumbers started growing back. Okay? So I'm getting all excited because these cucumbers are now they're growing. So the squash finally started back growing. Okay, so I said, okay, well, it must be happy again. And so then the cucumbers really started spreading. So I was like, okay, eventually I'm gonna have to pull up one of the other, because squash gets really, really big. And the squash kept getting really big, but the squash was never what produced getting humongous. The yellow leaves was getting humongous. But then it would stop. Like it would just stop. So anyway, one day I went out there and I killed just set it all up, put it all up. Didn't leave nothing. And put the root of it up, everything up. The cucumbers are actually growing. You actually see cucumbers now. Tomatoes. Had like 50 tomatoes plus on the tomato trees. And then the next thing somebody said, well, you know you're supposed to cut all the leaves to have holes in it. And I'm like, I'm not touching it. They're growing it too much, too good. You know, you gotta cut that, you gotta cut that. I'm like, you don't know nothing about my garden. Well, they told me that this is what happens, this is what it do, this is what that means. So, I go out there one morning, and I start cutting all the leaves that had the holes in it. Okay? Well, by the time I got through doing that, the tomato trees started to look naked. Okay, but the tomatoes were still on the tree. And I started finding tomatoes on the ground. And I'm like, well, what's causing the tomatoes to fall off the thing? Okay? So, I'm like, something about this don't make sense. Something about this ain't adding up. Because I'm doing my research. I'm reading, doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing it the right way. Tied it with the string, got the little thing for the tomatoes to be growing in and everything. Okay? Got my sticks, all this kind of stuff to give me room to grow. So here we are. And I got tired of finding tomatoes. So when my tomatoes start turning a little, where you can see a little red, I start cutting the tomatoes off my tree and bringing them inside to let them finish turning red inside. Okay. Now, out of all those tomatoes, I have about maybe a good 11 or 12 that's growing on the trees. I may have eating once they fully harvest about 4 to 5. I gave away 6. Do that sound like 50 tomatoes? Strawberries will turn red, and you can see the strawberries, and then they just disappear. Blueberries on the blueberry tree, you can see the blueberries blossom. The whole blueberry tree today. I might have been stealing my fruits and vegetables off my garden. I don't know who's been coming into my yard at nighttime, but they definitely have been stealing stuff off my garden. So that was another reason why I stopped doing my video updates. Because the stuff in my garden started coming up missing, and I know it's not my puppy. Because only thing she would go and eat would be them blueberries. They had more than enough of blueberries for her to be able to go and eat blueberries off the tree. And I was okay with it. Because to get to the blueberries, she don't have to go inside the garden. Okay, but none of the blueberries on the tree. So somebody been stealing the stuff off my garden. Off the garden. Alright. Shoot somebody for trespassing. That's my legal right, is it not? Do you not have the legal right to protect your home and your property? And nobody's supposed to be on your property without your consent or permission. That's considered intruding. I'm Keisha. What? Welcome to season 8. And what's season 8's title? Theme. What did you just say? That's the theme. for season 8. We're going into attributes and talents and so much more. Thank you for listening to the Keisha Phillips Show.